So Josh Padley versus Reece Bellotti, I think, is a fight that isn't getting enough attention. For example, I didn't really know this fight was happening until I actually looked at the undercard and saw that this fight was on there. And again, I know the main fight of Dave Allen and Matt Murdoch is probably taking all the attention because that is going to be probably one of the best fights we're going to see this year. It's just going to be really fun. But Josh Padley and Reece Bellotti is a very interesting fight because I would never put these two together. Now, Josh Padley's made some waves in the past year or so for, going up to light welterweight and fighting Mark Chamberlain and, beating him, but beating him fairly and putting on a good performance, to then fighting Shakur Stevenson on a 5 days notice and, getting stopped. And in my opinion, I don't think he won a single round, but he still got in there 5 days notice against a potential pound for pound, or at least one of his best in his weight class. And then you've got Reece Bellotti, who is quite a seasoned. I don't want to call Reece Bellotti a journeyman because I think that is quite disrespectful for him. I would call him a European level fighter to a fringe world contender who has got a lot of power, a lot of heart, and quite good boxing skills himself. Now, where I think this fight's can be interesting, you've got Padley, who is the natural bigger man. I saw the weigh today, and you can see he's leaner. He's got more frame to put weight and everything, and you've got Reece Bellotti, who at the weight, I think they weighed in at 129 today. He looks stocky, but you can see Josh Padley's overall the bigger guy, and he's going to weigh in probably even bigger tomorrow, right? He's probably going to weigh in about 135, maybe even touching 140 by the end of it. But either way, they're both weighing in at just before the start of the lightweight weight, and yeah, I just think this is going to be a really fun fight because you can have Josh Padley, who I think out of the two is the better boxer. I think Josh Padley's got a very good IQ. He's very underrated. And I will be honest, I'm a bit biased here because I do like a bit of a underdog story, right? From a guy who came from the small hole shows and is now getting his time to shine. But overall, I think Josh Padley's got a very good boxing skills. He's a very good body puncher. He does like a fight and he can scrap at people when he needs to. But also he is just very good at laying out the jab and he's got very good footwork. And he is tough as hell. I think he can take a shot. And even though Reece Bellotti's got punching power, I feel like if Padley could take Mark Chamberlain's power at a much higher weight, I feel like he's going to be able to take Reece Bellotti's power. Now, the problem with Padley is, and this is why I think there is an advantage to Reece Bellotti, is because Padley has his left hand, right hand quite low, he does leave his chin exposed. So you can see that there is an opening there for Reece Bellotti to throw over a counter right or throw a right hook and catch him. And the one thing about Reece Bellotti, he does have a very good right uppercut if they get in close. But overall, I do feel like, Padley, number one, is the bigger guy, he's the younger guy, and I think he has got more boxing skills. Now, with Reece Bellotti, he is going to come forward like he does. He puts a lot of pressure on. He'll walk forward and he'll throw. The one thing I've noticed about Reece Bellotti's fights, though, is even though he comes forward, he can be put on his back foot. And what I've found a lot of the times, like, for example, the Raymond Ford is one of the best examples, is Reece Bellotti was coming forward, and when Raymond Ford was countering him and catching him, you could see he was starting to back off. He has a good chin, Reece Bellotti, but he won't just recklessly come forward and take all the shots and just get hurt for no, I would say he won't really take four to land one. That's kind of how I think he is a little bit. I think he's more of he likes the pressure, he likes to push you back. And I feel like with him, if you give him that opportunity to show that you are going to be pushed back, that's what will give him the engine to push you back. Whilst I think with Josh Padley, what he needs to do, he needs to work on that counter. He probably already done it, but you need to watch the Raymond Ford fight because I think Raymond Ford and Josh Padley could imitate Raymond Ford a little bit. Now, Raymond Ford's got more power because Josh Padley, unfortunately, does lack power. He did put Chamberlain down on his ass, but he does lack, proper punching power. But I feel like he could counter Reece Bellotti, and I think he could possibly hurt him and push him back. But I don't see this being a stoppage. In my opinion, if there is going to be a stoppage, it's going to be Reece Bellotti. I don't see Padley stopping Reece Bellotti at all. But I do, in how I'm seeing this, I think Padley's going to outbox Reece Bellotti here. I think there's just too much on this side. I think he's a very good boxer. He's a lot younger, and like I said, he's the bigger guy, and he's stripping himself down about 5 more pounds or something than he's only used to. I just think he's going to win. And I think it's going to be a fun fight while it goes because I think Reece Belotti's going to come in there with all that energy because he's on a bit of a good streak right now himself. And I feel like he's going to give it a full go. But, you know, Reece Belotti's been in there with good fighters, but I feel like Padley's been in there not with just a good fighter, he's been in there with an elite fighter as well. So I feel like that experience he's learned from the Mark Chamberlain fight and Shakur Stevenson fight is just going to give an advantage in this fight. So my opinion is I see this going to be a unanimous decision. I'm probably going to say I can't remember, I think it's a 10 round. If it's a 10 round, I'm probably going to say 7 rounds to Padley and uh and 3 rounds to Bellotti. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it going. So that's my thoughts on Josh Padley versus Reece Bellotti. So please comment down below if you agree with me that you think that Josh Padley is going to outbox Reece Bellotti, or if you think that Reece Bellotti is going to beat Josh Padley in a different way, maybe in knockout or by decision. I'm trying my best to answer all the comments that are coming in, and I've actually been enjoying some of the conversations I've had. So please comment and have a chat with me about boxing and let me know your thoughts below. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next bout.